we journeyed to San Francisco today, and we're actually a part of it above what used to be the Sutro bathhouse area, and we're going to check out the creeks and the hidden trails that run through the bushes here. And that's where they pushed a bunch of material after the big earthquakes, so there's lots of relics and lots of cool stuff, modern stuff, tunnels from World War II, and some cool views. So no matter what we find, I hope you stick with us and hope you enjoy it. Let's check this out. We're in a creek, which is kind of, I don't want to say rare, but to find a natural creek running off the tip of the peninsula. I mean, it's just all city above us. And so it's eating down through it, and it's a good example of what I was saying. You can see this is all cement and sidewalks, and so as they had their earthquakes, they had to just fill in areas, and they rebuilt in a hurry. So they would just dump it off. So we got chunks of pipe. This is old-fashioned rebar. You can see the twist to it. So it's way different than our modern stuff. You see, that's pretty cool. And this is probably going to be indicative of our hunt. There's your classic don't get poked by the San Francisco syringe. I see a set of keys laying here. So roll up. And do not duplicate 21A. Do not duplicate AA, GM. So we have some master set of keys here. That's pretty cool. And keep exploring them. That's pretty awesome. I like that. We'll try them on everything. Ha ha ha. Maybe they go to the tunnels around here. Old rebar sticking out. So this is pieces of San Francisco that just got destroyed by an earthquake and dumped down like Planet of the Apes here. So it's kind of fun. Let's keep looking. I guess we could probably find anything. I mean anything. Just don't get poked. I haven't swatted a single fucking mosquito. Yeah. Just pulled that out. It's a solid piece of copper. Pretty cool. Might actually wind that up and keep it. Oh, I see it's bent at either end. A true artifact, maybe a bucket handle or something. It's pretty awesome. It was deep down, a couple feet. Looks like we're gonna lose the creek here for a ways. I don't think it's really navigatable, seeing as how it's mingled with berries, feces, and needles at the same time as old relics. But there is a path through these gigantic things here. No, there's not. This is crazy. Well, we're trying to work our way down. But it is thick, kind of treacherous. So, doing a lot of doubling back. It's really pretty. Look at these nasturtiums. And the seeds on them. Brains. These are edible. There's the leaf. There's the flower. Make sure you know what you're doing before you eat them. Okay. Back up here. Don't want to disturb this too much because could be current. You never know. Cool little camp, I guess. Could be cool. Could work out. Could be head high. Oh. Where this trail has gotten us to. I guess each one of these is going to be a camp also, where there's that many vehicles that have gotten smashed into. But let's see, tennis ball, body parts, just the usual. Okay, well, pretty main trail, but not very walked upon, right? Couldn't have been more than 100 people have trampled down that stuff. Some people are like, wow, we're taking that route. Stuff coming out of the trail all the way down. So, it's another piece of copper. There's so much copper up here. Ooh, look! Real treasure. Try and get that out careful. There's all kinds of stuff sticking out of this bank. There's a piece of copper. They should be recycling that in the city. But I found jewelry. I found jewelry coming out of the thing. So, maybe there's a pocket watch attached. No. But that sure is shiny. Oops, sorry, I'm showing you the dirt. That looks pretty shiny for burying in the dirt. I don't know. This could have slid down and been more recent, but that was pretty deep. You know? We'll take a closer look at that in the sunshine and polish it up and see if it's silver. But that was cool treasure right here on the trail where people have worn it down. Keep your eyes open. So this is cool. This is right below it. Look at that. That is the bottom of like a very large martini glass or something. It's got swirls in it. That's pretty cool. Got rust up on it. And then, wow, what else is there? Pieces of a curb. So right with the pieces of curb and brick, we're finding silver necklaces and who knows, that's pretty opulent. But I guess San Francisco was rolling pretty big at that point too. So, sorry, John, flicking rust at you. There are pewter lids up here from cans. So it's tin with the pewter around it, so that dates this too. So, some pretty old stuff. Ooh, what's that? Is that not so ancient? Looks like a screwdriver. Who knows? Okay. Yeah. Big hollowed out cypress. Yeah, you could camp out here. I wouldn't, but you could. I believe we've made it to the water. Yes. I don't want to call it a spring, although there is some spring there, so when you would have showed up 800 years ago, this would have been a beautiful little creek running out to the ocean. And now it's this. So, I hear water. This is exciting. And this mint. Look at the size of these. Yeah, we've made it through. Wow. Tell me that's not a little epic looking. This is what you were talking about, huh? The bigger pieces that they couldn't throw down in the rubble into to fill in, or that was closest to this side for them to throw out. So there could be anything here. Look, those are the sides of buildings. So these are pieces of San Francisco. Oh, what a view too. Look at the big ships coming through. All different ports of the world are coming through here. Can we see the Golden Gate yet? Oh, we can. There she is. So we're in the mouth of it. They're stretching up away. There's all the poor tourists. Ha ha. then we just climbed through that crazy maze there. And we're gonna check this out. It just got the city built up to its opulent levels, and then it shook apart. You can look through these banks too. Walk out here and get a view. Camera won't focus beyond that because of the fog. Oh, excuse me. The rocks here, if you look at them, are cement, so these are the old streets and buildings of San Francisco. Ground brick, sidewalk with the aggregate from the native soil built into something, rubble down. Oh, look at that. It's a nice chunk of California jade right there on the beach. There's a chunk of jade you're not getting at anywhere. That's a boulder. That's the second one of those I found in different spots. I'll try the helicopter. Oh, the cement chunks. Some of these that look like natural stones are actually pieces of even older buildings. I don't know if you can see it. There's chisel marks there that are being worn away now, but you can tell it was squared up. So these are natural stone buildings. Plastic. So yeah, stone castles even are dumped here. Yep. Lame. Look at that chunk of jade. Two natural stones. Think how old that must have been. A stone building all masoned together. Hand carved blocks from the limestone of Twin Peaks itself. Still mortared together. And they had to rebuild. They had the population of an ever-growing city, and it had just been reduced down to rubble. So this was their choice, was just dump the old out and build right on top of it because the money was rolling. That is one of the super freighters coming into the Oakland Harbor. That's how big they are when you're sitting back here on the beach. This eats a chunk of the horizon like an island coming in. John says this is the tugboat that'll be coming out to meet it to make sure that it can deal with the currents and the small opening and the bridge and help it get through the stuff. So, as has been forever and a day, doing their job, doing their dance. Little boat pushing the big one around. And I'm blown away by how much material there is, but then you realize they were having to deal with chunks like these with horses and just human stuff. They didn't have the huge machinery that we had to be able to move stuff around. So probably just getting it to the nearest spot away from flat building areas, which was already limited here on the peninsula, was the best that they could do. That one seems really cool to me. It's kind of like a hard glossy agate, bright red. You know, all of this little heart rock. More of those double bricks. I guess it's going to be a brick month. But just so you understand, I mean, they're everywhere. I'm going down this beach and there must be 1,000 of them. So the peninsula of San Francisco is very up and down and pointy, and now they have made a lot of building areas by filling it in with rubble and just time. But they probably also did a lot of removal of rock, and so that's where they got a lot of the material for the original buildings, which then they threw out here. I mean, they're everywhere. This is another one, probably every 5 feet up and down this entire shore. So those are pieces of the original peninsula and the original buildings. It's pretty cool to climb over it. And very few chunks of land out here that aren't developed on already, where all of this is way buried. So now here's something. Oh, big heavy chunk, who knows? Who knows? During World War II, they did so much other activity here because it was the mouth of the biggest port on this coast. So, oh, look at this. There's a chunk of something. Now this seems really cool to me. I'm kind of a dork though, I'll admit that, but thank you for joining me on my dorkdom. But look, this is really old cement. You can see the sandstone, which is also native here. Some of the limestone, really porous stuff. And then look what's in it. This is like a bundle of copper or something. Got cast into it back in the day. It's literally still stuck in it. What is that? It looks really cool. Let's try and see how buried that is. I lifted this up. It looks like it was joined there and then split into a bunch of pieces, and then there's thicker rods in here, and then the whole thing is wrapped, and it has thicker rods coming down. You want to smash it out? Let's do it. She's gonna come out. You want to destroy it. God. You can see I'm probably gonna have to turn the camera off here to do this right. Here's a lesson for hunting at the coast: is it's gonna be really windy and everything is going to be really corroded. This is metal, heavy piece of metal. I don't know. Give it the careful clean off method. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's all iron. But this, I got out of here a little bit more. Our mysterious wad of copper, but you can see it is stuck in there. Why would they do that? I guess maybe it was somebody's scrap collection. You can see there's little twisted wads and bigger wads. I want that. I am really curious about this thing. Does anybody know? I mean, maybe it's homemade. Maybe it's nothing, but it's like a wad of copper all wrapped like a little broom on these 3 rods, and I am spending a lot of energy beating this concrete apart. Anybody recognize why there'd be a copper torch thing, broom, from the 1800s buried in the cement from an old earthquake? Here's the other end of this thing. Of course, I left John way down the beach. I'd have somebody to help me film while I was carefully excavating with my excavator rock. This very rare, ancient bronze artifact. Luckily, I've worked with cement my whole life, and I know it's not as strong as they think. So, okay, last whack. Left-handed. Okay. Ready to look at this thing in its glory? That was a lot of work, folks. But it's handmade Americana. You saw it came out of the grips of the cement itself. There's the chunk it was stuck in. So it got dropped in there at some point after it got made. Here's the end of it. And cast into the cement. I guess a strengthener. Maybe this was structural back in the day, but I can't imagine. I think we're actually going to carry it out of here and clean it up though. So, oh, there's a chunk. Pretty cool. Some of these ends are welded together into multiples, almost like they were flames or something, and then some are single. Get the last bits of cement off there. I'd just like to point out that this is the chunk that it came from, and these are the other chunks laying nearby, and none of them have any rebar in them. So I don't know when they decided to start doing that, because they realized that cement cracked when it shook. But here's the piece. So if that was structural, they didn't do it anywhere else. I haven't seen another single chunk, and I can't imagine them doing it at artistic copper. So, who knows? Any ideas? Let me know. That big old chunk.